Welcome to Raw vs. Wrestling for June 13th, 2011. This show is essentially their go-home show for the WWE Capital Punishment pay-per-view for the Sunday. Also, it was the WWE All-Star 3-hour special. I'm not going to go over to everything during the show, but I'm going to just hit the quick tidbits and what most people need to know. For the most part, the show is just an entertainment show. Not much of a wrestling show at all. You had some interesting and fun matches in there, some cool down moments and on that aspect. And honestly, I thought the show was pretty well put together considering it was a 3-hour show. You had commercials and everything on that aspect. And I was saying it was well put together because I felt like they did what they needed to do to build the feuds going into the pay-per-view itself. Not to mention just making a few more of the pay-per-view matches that you were expecting to come because of these feuds that had been already going on. They made the Kofi Kingston-Dolph Ziggler match for the pay-per-view. Most people were seeing this coming, so the match was just made for the aspect of doing that. They also had a quick tag match that night with where they added Evan Bourne and Jack Swagger in there. Kofi and Evan won the match, so a little bit of building on the feud there, and a little bit of building tension between Vicky and Dolph Ziggler, because Austin initially was saying the only way he was going to get this match is that if he would drop Vicky as his manager. So it was funny to see how Dolph would react to that. He said, yeah, he would drop his manager for the shot at the U.S. title, and essentially Austin said he was just joking. The match was already made. So the aspect is, yes, Vicky and Dolph are still, or Vicky's still Dolph's manager, but the match is still going to go on. You also had CM Punk and Rey Mysterio get made for the pay-per-view that night. They had a little altercation after the Christian Rey Mysterio match, and this match happened after the match with, or not the match, but the confrontation between Christian and Randy Orton, where essentially, Orton wanted him to come out. Christian didn't want to come out initially, but started to come out. Security got in the way, and then the Raw GM made Randy leave because he had a concussion. This was nice to build a little bit of a build for Randy Orton versus Christian coming into Sunday. Is that, he's not going to be able to do anything on Raw or SmackDown this week, and he has to wait for the pay-per-view essentially to get what he wants, which is Christian. I kind of like exactly where they're going with that. You can use the concussion angle. It's a good way to get a person down for out of the ring for a week, but you can keep them on the show as well. So I actually did like that. I liked the entire angle the whole night with R-Truth. He came out after a commercial break with Hornswoggle was still shooting off t-shirts into the crowd. He comes out and beats him down, and yeah, essentially does give him a few good hits to build up some crowd heat, which he gets a lot of crowd heat right now. And I'm really liking I am really liking the character. He's playing that crazy character extremely well in this case. So he's been doing a good job, and hopefully the momentum will continue to go. But after the Hornswoggle incident, Austin made the match with R-Truth versus John Morrison for later in the night, and that was honestly what I was expecting for like the next pay-per-view. But they obviously went in a different angle where R-Truth came out, Morrison didn't come out, and you find Morrison in the back. Actually, R-Truth finds Morrison in the back, more than likely the person who beat him down, and continued to do what he was doing. And honestly, that segment as well was extremely entertaining, and I like what they were doing with that. And R-Truth, of course, inserted himself into the main event, which was actually a good main event as well, with CM Punk and John Cena. He causes the distraction, causing CM Punk to hit to go to sleep and getting the victory. Once again, just good building for the R-Truth character, and then building into the match for the pay-per-view with him and John Cena. I liked what they did with R-Truth and the Cena issues tonight. They did a good job. You also had a Piper's Pit moment or you started off the show with The Miz, and then it eventually brought out Stone Cold into that aspect after The Miz called him out. And you had a little bit of back and forth between the two, which eventually led to Austin making a Piper's Pit with him and Alex Riley, and of course Piper would be there. During Piper's Pit, things somewhat got out of control, which eventually led to him making a bet with Piper, saying that he can beat Piper or Piper can beat him. And it eventually led to the match between Piper and Miz, and Alex Riley was special guest referee. And you pretty much know where that went. It was pretty much a fun match for the aspect. It also helped build for the pay-per-view match with Alex Riley and The Miz. And I thought they did a good job. They did with what they could at that moment. I mean, Piper's not in his prime ages anymore, so the match is what it is now. But overall, for building the feud between Alex Riley and Miz, I thought it worked. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. And yeah. But like I said, overall, that's pretty much all I have. That's pretty much all I have for the tidbits of the show. I'm trying to keep it as short as possible. I know it was a 3-hour show, and a lot of things did happen during the show. But overall, I thought it was a good show this week. I thought it was a very entertaining show, and I thought even though I'm still not having high expectations for the pay-per-view this Sunday, I thought they did what they could with, just like TNA, and just like with TNA last week with their show, they did with what they could, and they did a good job building the feuds going into the pay-per-view this Sunday as well. This was Raw vs. Wrestling. Thank you for watching.